Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Sukalpa Dhar show, and I am Sukalpa. Today we have with us the former chief manager of one of the largest banks of India, the State Bank of India, Mr. SUDIP Kumar Dhar. Hello and welcome to my show.
Thank you. I don't know why you selected me for such a talk show, but well, every man has his story. You can try to dig it out and see if it's interesting or not. You are welcome.
Please put some glimpse of your childhood days.
Oh, childhood days are those golden days. I think every man, every people, every individual in this globe will vouch for it. Childhood days are golden days. And there are so many memories. I don't remember exactly. I was told that I left Shillong when I was 3 years old, and my father was posted in Darjeeling, so we went there. I don't remember very vividly those days, but thereafter my father was posted in Howrah, and we came back to Howrah. There I could remember little of those days. In fact, there was an advantage. My uncle, my maternal uncle, Mama, he is also posted in Howrah, and they were living in a house with my maternal grandfather and grandmother. So we used to frequently visit that house in Howrah on that Sukalpa Dhar road. That was a very big house with a very big veranda. I remember that veranda. That was very stylish veranda, very old English pattern house with a big field in front and the side also. So those days we had been enjoying that house very much in front of the Mangla Haat. Now these days it is one of the big sari market. I think it used to be held once in a week or twice in a week. A lot of weavers used to come and sell their products there. That was a very interesting part we used to see. We used to visit that place frequently. And those days are very interesting, very enjoying too.
Where did you study?
I studied at Jagabandhu Institution, that is in South Kolkata, because from Howrah, my father got transferred to Kolkata, and he got his quarter at the Gariyat Junction. One of the buildings in Gariyat Junction that we used to live was my father's quarter. And from there I first started going to school. I joined school in class 3, and from there only I used to go to school. I remember my mother used to stand on the veranda of that building and overseeing me crossing the road. And after crossing that side, there was a shop called Jolo Jog. They used to sell small pancakes. I used to buy one cake for my tiffin, and then I used to go to the school. That was very enjoying too.
Your father took you to different eateries. How were those in those days?
Oh, that is very interesting. And when we were in Howrah, we are in Howrah, my father used to come back from office in the evening, and then he used to take us, myself and my elder sister, together for a stroll, for a stroll on the street. So usually we used to come by one road where the tram was plying, that Howrah tram. The Howrah tram was very funny. It's a single bogie tram with both sides have a steering wheel and the driver's cabin. It used to run on a single line from one side to the other, and then again the driver changes from his side from the back to the front, and then he comes back on the same line. That was funny. With that tram trip, we used to come to Howrah, and then again from Howrah we used to catch Kolkata trams. Kolkata trams which comes through the Howrah Bridge and to Mahatma Gandhi Road. Those days that was called Harrison Road. And then we used to come to the College Street Point, College Street Junction. There we used to roam around the College Square and the College Street Market and these old bookstalls. For some time we sit into the College Square beside the pond, and then we used to go to some eateries. Almost every trip we used to go to some eateries. I remember on the south of College Square and on the Mirzapur Street, these days it is called Surjosen Street, one sweet shop was there. Its name was Putiram. Putiram was a very famous shop. So we frequently used to go there and eat some sweets and salty things also. Normally sweets, which we like very much. Putiram's sweets. And then we used to visit this College Street Market. When you enter the College Street Market, that old market, there was one place which is maintained by Globe Nursery. Globe Nursery. That place was very beautifully planned. It shows a kind of a garden, a road, a motorable road, then a footpath kind of thing, then a small stream, over it is a small bridge, and then in the end there is a small bungalow type of thing, all models. And that used to fascinate us. We used to stand before it and see for quite some time. Those days are really interesting. And then we used to visit sometimes Newmarket, and there was one restaurant called Carco. That restaurant is still there. It's still there in the new building, but it was in the old building then. And Carco, we used to go there and used to have sandwiches and coffees or some such thing, I remember.
How were your school days? You had many friends.
School days, well, it was a very interesting thing. These school days, a lot of teachers were there who used to keep us amused in their behavior, and we used to give nicknames to them. But in the process, slowly, I don't know how, but we have learned so many things. We have indeed learned, but at that moment of time, we thought that we are not learning anything, we are just making fun in the school. And only when the exam time comes, then we have to go through the books and read and try to learn them by heart. But of course, when we used to be in the class and the teachers used to teach us, something used to go inside, because later on we find that a lot of things we have learned there.
You had many school friends.
Oh yes, yes. School friends were there because the locality where I used to stay uh, earlier also and later also, we used to go. There were few students from the same area, and our classmates are also there. So you used to go together to the school and also come back together. That increases the friendship and camaraderie between the boys. So that was there, and then we had the advantage of this Ravindra Sarovar lake in very near to us. So we used to go there and play football, cricket, and whatever. Whenever we get some time and we could gather some 5, 10 people, 10 boys, we used to go running to the lake and then play there.
Where did you attend your college?
I attended my college when I completed my schooling. Those days it was higher secondary. I completed my higher secondary from Jawahari Institution, and then I joined Ashutosh College in Bhawanipur, or Hajra you can say, and there I had completed my BSc in science stream.
You read a lot of books. Who are your favorite authors?
It's difficult to say one single author or two authors who are very favorite. I keep reading all kinds of books, but these days the travel books also gives lot of interest for me. Travel books and history books too. History books too gives me a lot of pleasure. And then these scientific achievements, stories on science, these these books also give us a lot of interesting insights.
And you still have connections with your earlier friends.
Oh yes, oh yes. From my childhood friends, many of them are well connected with me. I keep on talking to them. I keep on meeting them. Nowadays, because of this pandemic, we are not visiting each other, but we keep talking. We keep talking over phone. Friends are here in Calcutta. Friends are there in Shillong. Friends are there in Guwahati, and there are friends wherever I had been. There are friends.
You have traveled from Kolkata to Bombay by cycling. Please share the experience with us.
Oh, that was very the sudden thing, sudden development. In fact, those days I used to stay in Chinchura, with my maternal uncle at their house there. Because my father had already retired from service and our establishment at Calcutta has been closed down. So I used to stay there and looking for some employment, some jobs, some opportunities, what I can do, applying here and there. At that time, an opportunity came up. Some of my scouting mates, they said that they are planning to go to visit Bombay because there will be a Jamboree camp. That Jamboree camp takes place every 4 years. From so the last Jamboree that was held in West Bengal in Kalyani in I think 1967 end. So we attended that Jamboree. Then my fellow scouts, they were saying that they are planning to visit the next Jamboree in 1970 in Bombay. In Bombay, that will take place in Bombay. So they thought that they will visit from Kullani to Bombay, that is the 5th Jamboree site to 6th Jamboree site. So they were just planning. I said, I am game for it. I will take part. If you have a plan, finalize it, I will go. And then they in fact, they actually planned everything and did. And then they just asked me to join. So I joined them and took this journey.
And why this cycling through cycle you went?
That was a kind of expedition, an adventure, and that is what people are interested in. And we thought we will go to various places, various lands across the country, and we'll be able to see the people and their culture and their styles of living. Those things will come to contact with them. That will be a great advantage. And people will, in the Jamboree camp, people will acclaim us because we have traveled so much in cycle and attended the Jamboree. So that was a kind of a heroic effort, you can say.
And how was the journey?
Well, journey is indeed splendid. We have been riding the cycle. We used to get up very early in the morning. By 6, we used to get ourselves make ready. Had little bit of. We used to carry some food like Horlicks and Viva and all these things that we have received from various people. So we used to have a little bit of tea, snacks, and those Horlicks, Viva, and all that. And then we used to start by 6 o'clock in the morning. So from 6, we used to ride for about 4 hours. For 4 hours, say up to 10 o'clock in the morning, and we used to cover some 20 kilometers, 15 kilometers like that distance. Then we should take a short rest, and from some roadside eatery or somewhere we used to have a little bit of breakfast sort of thing. Then again we used to start riding the cycles and used to travel till noon, say 12:30. And wherever we reach, we used to find out some village somewhere we can take a few rest and have some grabs for lunch. So we used to request people and we used to tell them that we are traveling like this, and people used to welcome us. And at many places they used to offer us lunch or tiffin and those kind of things. And then again afternoon we used to ride by little, when the sun goes little bit down, we start again and we start cycling till evening and reach wherever village or whatever station or whatever town it is. And then we try to contact with the local authorities, whether it is police authorities, whether in the villages that Gaon Panchayat authorities and all that. And we should tell them to provide us night shelter somewhere. And they used to give us night shelter somewhere in the Panchayat Bhavan, somewhere in the police station. Even we had experience in one police station. They opened the lockup and there were cots, and they said you can sleep in these cots, don't worry, we are not locking it up, we have no other place to put you for the night, so you stay here. Like that.
So, your career started at your birthplace, that is Shillong itself, at Shillong itself. So how is it? How was it?
Oh yes, that's a very strange coincidence. That's a strange coincidence. In those days, I've been searching for job in Kolkata, but the job market in Kolkata was very precarious, particularly because there are a lot of agitations and andolans and this Naxal movement and the leftist movement, those that the factories and the organizations are getting closed down, the jute mills are closed down or lockups, they used to declare, and 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 job position was very bad. At that time, I had to visit Shillong coincidentally because my grandmother, she was very critically ill, and she desired that she want to see me. So I and my father, we went to Shillong, and unfortunately, that was the end of my grandmother. She expired. She expired. Then I was there for some time. Then my uncles and Shillong, they said that that I stay back in Shillong because there are some job prospects and people may get job here easily. And in Calcutta was very bad at that point of time for jobs. So I stayed there. I stayed there and started applying for jobs in the local institutions, organizations at that time. And that is somehow I got this offer in State Bank. I got simultaneous offers in other 2-3 organizations also, but I joined here. That was coincidental. That's coincidental. I went for some other purpose and then I got job and I got stuck there.
You have many friends in Shillong too.
In fact, when I went to Shillong, I find that generally people who are Calcutta boys, they doesn't want to leave Calcutta because they doesn't get this kind of environment anywhere. But when I went to Shillong, I find that this is a place where the environment is quite like Calcutta and a place where one can live very easily coming from the Calcutta background. So I liked that place and I stayed. And because it is my birthplace, I do not know, inherently I like this place very much. So I was very lucky to say that I find a job there itself and had been there for quite some time.
Share some speciality of Durga Puja in Shillong.
Durga Puja is a great occasion in Shillong because Shillong Bengalis, the settled Bengalis in Shillong are quite old settlers, and this practice of organizing Durga Puja was there for a very long time. All the areas used to have their own Durga mandaps or temples meant for Durga Puja only, most of the localities. So it is arranged and there's a wholehearted participation from all the people. That is unique, and it's something different from the Calcutta pujas because in Calcutta people are not so much involved in their locality. Some handful of people used to organize and they are involved. Rest of them were just floating population. But in Shillong, it's one puja and one locality people always remain engaged in that and doing all kinds of activities. That's a different experience. And that's very enjoying also. For 3 days or 4 days, all the people, especially the young boys, girls and all, they will be there in the puja mandap area for 24 hours in the day.
You love music. You listen to Sujat Hussain Khan, Ghazal singer Mehdi Hassan, Farida Khanun, and many others. What do you say?
My love for music, I don't know from where it developed, uh, because my uncle at Shillong, uh, he is fond of classical music and he used to listen to classical songs, etc., in the radio those days. And he doesn't allow us to listen to Hindi music particularly, or Devdas music. He used to scold us if at all we ever try to tune those stations, Bhimdharti or some such stations, Radio Ceylon, where Hindi music used to be played. He used to scold us very severely, and say those are worthless music. You shouldn't. That was one thing there. And then during my college days, my friend's father was a classical singer, and they used to organize one music conference in Kolkata every year. That is called All India Sadarang Sangeet Sammelan. Every year, either in Ravindra Sadan or in Bharati Sadan or some such hall somewhere. And because of my friend, we used to get special advantage to go to these functions and attend the functions day in, day out. For these are conferences spanning about 4-5 days. Each of the session used to have 4-5 days, and all the renowned classical singers or players, instrumental players, used to participate in these functions. And there I used to sit there in the hall for whole night and listen to these exponents right in front of them, sitting in front of them. And that was a very mesmerizing experience. And it attracted me so much. That I became fond of music. These days I find many of them I get in YouTube and other places. I keep on listening to them. I have the privilege of listening to Bhimsen Joshi, Amir Khan, then playing soloed by Amzad Ali Khan, then so many other exponents. So many exponents, and that was a tremendous experience that I enjoyed. I was in the college for 3 years, and 3 to 4 years I was attending these conferences every year for 4-5 days, and maybe 2-3 days it is whole night program. I saw Hema Malini first in Bharatanatyam dancing. At that time she has not joined films. So she came for a Bharatanatyam presentation.
At that time, she was yet to join Bollywood.
Yeah, yet to join Bollywood. And I saw her there in her performance. And so many other, I don't remember, but so many other people I said there.
So now you have worked many years in one of the largest and esteemed banks of India, the State Bank of India. Share some of your memorable and most happening incidents there.
Well, there are a lot of memorable incidents when I first joined in Shillong branch, and then in Shillong branch there are a lot of camaraderie between the colleagues, and a lot of functions pujas, Saraswati Puja, and even Kali Puja, and then social functions, those things are being organized. And we used to take part and arrange for those. I remember one program we held in State Central Library Hall where we took Suchitra Mitra from Kolkata for our Rabindra Sangeet presentations, and that way the Shillong branch was very exciting. And in the evening we used to play badminton by putting lights on, and then in front of the bank there is a small ground where we used to play badminton. Everybody used to come and participate. Those days are very enjoyed days, and then sometimes there used to be parties, and particularly during the annual closing day, that is 31st March, we used to have work for the whole night. Whole night we had to work. So there will be a lot of parties. Customers will come and bring with them foods and various stuffs, and we used to enjoy those whole night working. Then of course, those days were memorable days. And then in Guwahati also, when I came, first the local head office was open, and there also a lot of new experiences we used to have and enjoy a lot. And then I was transferred to Nagaland. Nagaland tenure was unique in the sense because we were working in a different environment. We had a lot of cooperation and camaraderie between our staffs and employees, all the employees, and that we used to organize various programs. We used to play cricket, we used to play badminton, and visit each other's house in the evening, and I used to chit chat till late night. That was a very interesting time. And then one incident that occurred in Nagaland, in Dimapur particularly, that the bank had received a notice from the underground people to pay a ransom of a huge sum, and there is no question that bank can give such amounts to anybody for any purpose. So we have been getting threatening letters, and even over phone also we have been threatened that unless we part with that sum, they will take certain action. And what action? They have not said, but on the ultimate date, they had sent a letter along with a bullet to our Deputy General Manager, the head of the Dimapur region, a bullet and a letter giving him ultimatum that they are going to take some action. This created a kind of scare among all the employees of the State Bank in Dimapur. There were 4 branches and a regional office, zonal office. So all the people were so scared that they fled Dimapur. And from the next day, all the bank branches remained closed. That created a kind of a crisis. The people not only stopped coming to the bank, they left the station. They fled the station and to their hometowns or somewhere else. But of course out of Dimapur. And nobody could be contacted. It was a peculiar situation where our security officer, Major Joshi, was the single man who remained stranded there, who has nowhere to go, and then he has the responsibility of providing security to the bank branches. So he cannot leave the station just like that. And seeing his fate, when I find that most of my colleagues and in the building where we used to stay together, about 9 families, all of them have left Dimapur. So I was alone there, and I saw the fate of Major Joshi, our security officer, being alone with a small kid. And at the last moment, I said, I will also stay back and face the situation, whatever it is. And we stayed back. And that was a very harrowing time because the pressures are being built to reopen the banks from the government authorities, from the bank's top hierarchies also, and from the finance ministry and other things, because all transactions have been stopped. And that was virtually a standstill position for the government also. So the government authorities, the chief secretary, and all these people, they were very much concerned, and they have been asking us to reopen the bank. And there was nobody that they can speak except that they were contacting our head office at Guwahati and asking them to do something. But there was nobody in Dimapur to act. So that was a very harrowing time, and that was a very peculiar experience. We had been there for, I forget, I think 14-15 days the banks remained closed. And then people were deputed from Guwahati and from Jorhat Zonal Office to verify situation and to talk to the top authorities of the government of Nagaland and police and find out what is exactly the position. That was very interesting time. That at one point of time, almost the Dimapur Zonal Office was functioning from my home, and an official from Jorhat Zonal Office came, and we are working how we can reopen the banks. Then we had met several government officials and police authorities, and ultimately Chief Minister of Nagaland also called us on a meeting, and then he lastly assured us that it be reopened. They will ensure that there is no further incidents of this kind from the underground authorities, and they have some channel of communication. So they assured us, and then we have started opening the banks and calling people slowly. Within 4 or 5 days, some people came back, and we started the operations on a skeleton basis. Those days were very interesting. The whole building, myself, my family, and Major Joshi's family were there. Nobody else was around.
You had many other colleagues too, with whom you were close to or shared some memorable moments at that time.
Yeah, but of course, in Nagaland we used to have a lot of camaraderie, I said, because we were not very able to go to very close contact with Naga people. Very few of them come to us, and we also know very few of them, and we are not very much accustomed to their customs and cultures and all that, though we try to learn and try to adopt them, but it's difficult. It's a difficult kind of thing, and we have a language barrier also. We don't understand it. And then there are several tribes. Nagaland has about 17-18 different tribes. Each tribe is different, and each tribe's language is different from each. And they are the styles of functioning, their lifestyles, all are different. And it's very difficult to understand and work with them also. So even then we tried our best. We tried our best to mingle with them and mix with them and try to break up. So those days it was a very uh, difficult time, very difficult time. But somehow we could carry on, and that's why more camaraderie was there between our staffs and employees.
And I think
Uh,
at that time you had more camaraderie among your colleagues than today. Nowadays,
these days, as I understand, people are a bit
rather current generation.
current generation are a bit what do you call not attached to each other so much, not attached to each other so much. So it was there in our time that anybody does anybody else's work. Whether it's a problem for him, he has to leave immediately. Somebody is fell sick and he has to go home. So we immediately ask him to go and we'll take care of his works, whatever left out, like that. These days, I don't think anybody will be so coming up with so much help and all that. Yeah.
Okay, now let us come to another point. You are very fond of tea. How is it, and how you developed fondness for tea?
Tea is one thing. Tea, I don't know. It's a Calcutta culture also. You can say. We used to sit our friends together for long hours, chit chatting and joking and poking and all that. And in between, we used to have cups of teas. In between, we have small stalls everywhere on the roadside, and we used to have small sips of tea. We used to order for one cup of tea and then divide it into two or three, and then two or three of us used to share this tea, a few sips, and this habit was there in Kolkata. And then when I went to Shillong, because Shillong is a cold place, you feel like having tea frequently. And tea is being served in the offices, in the streets, everywhere. There will be small canteens, small tea shops, and there will be Khasi ladies. They used to carry the tea kettle and a basket containing some tidbits, biscuits and cakes, and they used to serve everywhere in the street also, and in most all offices. They used to visit frequently, say every hour they will come to your table and ask whether you want tea. So from there also you developed a habit of taking tea. Say every hour or even every 2 hours, you have half a cup of tea at least to warm yourself up. So that way it became a habit. And I enjoy it.
Name a place where you want to go anywhere in the world you haven't been still yet, if given a chance, or if you get a chance. Place or places.
No, a particular place like that I don't have. I don't know also. The unknown places, I prefer to go to such unknown places and remote places. I'd like to, but these days traveling has become a difficult situation. I had a desire to visit Europe, of course, which I could not as yet. And now things are changing so different. I don't know whether this will ever be possible. But That is a desire that remains in me. And other than that, I like to go to remote places and see people who are different from us and to enjoy their lifestyle and culture, and know about that. Places like remote Kashmir, say Ladakh, or um, say the end of Gujarat, or Saurashtra, and say even in Kerala. There. I like to travel. I like to travel.
Okay, so finally we have come to the end of the show. So in the end, I would like to ask the only one question that is left. How do you feel, or rather, are you feeling after coming to the show, the Sukalpa Dhar show?
Oh, it's interesting indeed. It's interesting because I have never participated in a talk show like this. And although sometimes I think of chronicling my life right from the childhood somewhere, just for the posterity's sake. But no, it's not a kind of a biography or autobiography or something. I'm not a person whose life will be so interesting for people. But I just will sometimes think of chronicling my days right from my childhood, so that posterity can take note of those things that is there. Well, this is very enjoying. This is very enjoying. Thank you for calling me.
Okay, final 2 lines or so. What you, if you want to say anything, to just complete.
Yes. I want to say that every man has his specialties and his stories are there, and these stories taken together forms the you can see history. History is only the amalgamation of those stories. So it is good to have all talk shows, hold talk shows, and take people's stories and blend them together. Someday this may develop into a new horizon for you.
সো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ। তুমি সুস্থ থাকো, ভালো থাকো, আরও অনেক দিন এরকমই থাকো। আর আমার তরফ থেকেও ভিউয়ার্সদের তরফ থেকে অনেক শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি। অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমার সাথে আসার জন্য।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আর আপনাদের চোখ থাকুক দ্য সুকল্প ধর শোতে। ধন্যবাদ।